Hello and welcome. Today we're going to do a little bit of exploring around this incredible island in the Philippines. Now, if you caught the last upload, we did make our way over to do all the water activities, all the different bits and pieces in the kayak, and all the photo shoots and things like that. And now we are going to be doing the return leg, but a slightly different way. And also, what is also slightly different is the camera setup for the first minute or so, just to see if the wider view looked a little bit better. I don't think it does, because I think it makes everything look more of a fishbowl. But you guys and girls, let me know in the comment section below. So in about a minute from now, it'll go back to the normal settings. I think that does look a little bit sharper and a little bit clearer. Now, where we just stopped off at and had a look through, that is actually a really nice place to grab yourself a bite to eat and a drink. But if you did spot it, there was a swimming pool just behind the seating area. And behind that was all different hotel rooms with balconies. So just imagine staying there and then walking straight out onto the beach front. Now, this area of this island, or this station/zone, is the more quiet, peaceful section where you do all the water activities and it all shuts down for the evening. So you don't have the hustle and bustle and a lot of noise at night. So you could go for really nice walks in the sunset if you wanted to. Now, we are exploring this way for the first ever time, just to see what is actually down here. And then you might notice in a future upload, we actually managed to do a full loop and connect all the dots together because it is so easy to get around. But it is good fun to explore all the different places on the island. So you can see the camera settings have just changed back to what they normally are. So we are now back into the normal cinematic view. I think this looks a lot sharper. But you guys and girls, let me know, because I'm only currently watching this through a very small viewfinder. But you can see there's lots and lots of foot traffic walking this way. So we did think that there must be something down this way, but we just didn't know how far it was going, because we are currently walking away from our hotel. So we actually do go down here later on in a completely different upload, and we end up doing a really nice loop and a walk. And there is some really very nice things a little bit further down, some really nice photo opportunities down this way as well. Now, if you have again been watching all the videos in the playlist, you'll know that the Piccolo Hotel is smack in the middle of the island, and you can walk to this way really easily, and you can walk to the other side of the island really, really simple as well. Whereas if you stayed over this side, I think it'd be a little bit more peaceful. Not that we could hear a thing at the hotel that we're at anyway, but you would have to potentially struggle, because you can see that there's literally nothing here. You'd actually have to walk over close to the middle of the island or to the other beach where all of the shops and everything are, when you've got loads and loads of restaurants, and you've got the little mall and everything down there as well. Now, it is a beautiful island. The weather happened to be almost perfect on the evening that we're going for a walk, because if you've caught any of the videos, you do get caught in some of the downpours, and when it rains, it floods very, very quickly. But of course, it is the wet season here, so it is all the downtime. So you will notice that there's actually a lot of building work going on, and there's lots of repairs running and all of that kind of thing, because not all of the hotels and things were open, because they obviously are getting ready for their main summer season. So we have got lots of things to have a look at and lots of things to see with regards to the future uploads that are going to be coming within this playlist. But what we are doing now is basically getting lost. I'm going for a good old-fashioned explore, because that's always one of the best things to do when you arrive in a new place. As long as you know rough bearings where your hotel is, get out there, go for a wander. And then if you do get stuck, obviously you can just book an e-trike, an Uber, or depending on where you are in the world, just to get back to your hotel. But the walks around here were so pretty, and it was so easy to navigate this island. And of course, there's so many different e-trikes that will take you around back to your hotel as well. If your legs and feet get tired, you really don't have anything to worry about with regards to getting lost on this island or not feeling safe whatsoever. It was a beautiful day, really nice experience. It's such a beautiful place as well. This side of the island is much more calm than the opposite side. Up here, you just have all the different water activities. And if you do go the opposite way to where I'm walking now, there is almost like a little private beach with a load of little fishing boats, all sort of either in the water or on the sand, depending on the time that you walk past. And that'll make a lovely backdrop for some really nice photos as well. And you can just sit down on the grass, or the sand, shall I say, not the grass, and then just sort of tan for a little bit if you wanted to. Again, depending on the season that you're there, because I can imagine when it is in the peak season and the sun is at its hottest, you would more than likely want to be in the water than you would do on the sand, just because it would be so, so hot. But this side is definitely more water activities, and you can go for a nice swim. And on the other side, the waves are a little bit more choppy. I think a lot of people looked like they were doing a little bit of surfing and all that kind of thing on the other side because that's where the waves would be. But again, you've got the whole island to explore. Get yourself on an e-trike if you need to, and then you are good to go. But you can see with the photo that I've just uploaded now, with regards to the different destinations of places that you can go to, like Willie's Rock, is all the different touristy places that you can stop off and visit to. Some of them you might need to get onto an e-trike because you can't really walk it up that way, because it might be 20 minutes by trike, which would be a couple of hours walking, and you don't want to waste the whole day just walking around, unless, of course, you just are purposely going to walk the whole island, which would be a lovely thing to do, but you would need to know where you're going and make sure you've got plenty of stop-off points, especially with food and drink, because the gaps between shops might be quite large. So obviously take that with a pinch of salt and just be careful. But to navigate this island, very, very, very straightforward, especially from the hotel that we're staying at. And again, you've got these little bits and pieces to the left-hand side and all of those views. You've got this nice little sort of sandy area just here, and then you carry on walking down to another bit of sandy area where you got some water and things. So it is very, very peaceful and calm on this side. And we did only explore this area, this bit, I think, just once. And then we actually came back around this way by mistake, walked across the sand, and then actually stopped off for a really nice drink, and then went back in and went a completely different way again. So there's lots of different ways that you can go around, and like I said, you do easily start to connect all of the dots. So keep your eyes peeled for all of the uploads that are going to be happening within the Philippines playlist, because there's a lot of how-to guides to come, and there's a lot of just exploring and walking around this way and just sort of basically soaking everything in. And it was just a very nice, calm experience. And there's a lot, obviously, you can see and hear the wind in the background as I take some of the sound off of just how windy it actually was at times. But you got used to that very, very quickly. But I could imagine what it would be like if it was just perfectly still, because I would imagine if you were just sat in one of your rooms and there was no wind whatsoever and the sun was setting and all you heard was the ocean waves, and that would be a amazing experience, and just sat there just listening to everything. But again, more accommodation on the left hand side, and I've got a very, very funny feeling just to the left hand side actually where you could go and hire the pool. So you could actually just go for a swim in a swimming pool, because the hotel was that quiet. They actually had an A board out the front where you could just go and pay a small fee, and then you could just go in there, sit in the jacuzzi, for example, and still see the ocean from where you're sat. Something that you didn't need to do, but it could be a nice experience for some people. If that is the kind of thing that you would like to do and experience, head yourself over to this side of the island. And again, you have got these nice little areas where you can get yourself a bite to eat and go for a drink. Now, again, if you have been watching any of the other uploads, you'll notice that there'll be a Boracay sign coming up. From that Boracay sign, that is where you pick up all the water activities, and then from there, you would actually carry on walking much, much further down in a straight line to then sign yourself in to the activities. But we are not going to be going that way on this upload. We're actually going to be going a slightly different way, and then we head back to the hotel, I think, from here. So we're almost at the halfway mark of this upload, and like I said, it is literally just an explore and a say what you see video, just with how beautiful it is. Now, with regards to the grass and all those little bits and pieces down there, people were working out. There was like a little gym area just to the right hand side if you had spotted it. There's lots of people doing lunges and sort of squats, and I think there was a tractor tire in the middle as well. So it is almost perfect weather to work out, and then you can grab some of the local delicacies, if that is the correct word, just to the left hand side. That's far too fancy for this upload. And you can see that there's groups of people just taking photos, and the amount of those little e-trikes that are just picking people up from the little bus stop that is just there, or the trike stop, shall I say. You could just go there if you wanted to, like I said, if your legs are tired, and they'll just take you to exactly where it is that you needed to go to. Or you can do what we're about to do now and just walk in a straight line for a couple of minutes, and then you are back to the hotel. And it was a really nice way to end the day. The sun was setting, and you could obviously get changed and then go to the other side of the island for a bite to eat if you wanted to. So many different eateries that you can go to right beside the Piccolo Hotel. So again, all those videos are available in the playlist already. We have a just what is around the hotel where we stayed at, and obviously the hotel itself. I have been adding in, using Google Maps, all of the different hotel locations dotted around this island as well, just to try and make it as easy as possible for you. So depending on your budget and depending on exactly where it is that you want to stay on the island and what it is you want to do here, you've got plenty of different opportunities and sort of hotel points as such to make your life as easy as possible. That way you can save yourself some money on with the e-trikes, or if you didn't like walking, for example, you could just stay at the one side of the island or the other. That way you can literally just walk straight out to the beachfront, and then if you wanted to go over and get yourself a bite to eat, you just get on one of the e-trikes, or if you prefer to be on the more lively side of the island, and then you wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle during the day, you could come over to the water side. So you are, again, depending on what type of person you are, and depending on where it is that you wanted to stay, and what your purpose is of coming to this island, there's definitely a hotel location for you. And again, in the evening, walking around here at night, it's so well lit. All the lights look absolutely fantastic. There's loads of nice little massage parlors and sort of relaxation spas and all that kind of thing. So if you just want to give yourself a little bit of pampering or get your nails done or whatever it is you want with regards to different types of treatment, they all come out the woodwork in the evening. And they did look absolutely fantastic. So next time I go over this way, I would like to experience those different bits and pieces myself. And that way I'll let you know exactly what the better treatments are to have, because the pricing was very, very good. Sort of 45 minutes to an hour. And they were obviously all licensed different bits and pieces. So everybody was fully trained, obviously. And that way you could just sit yourself down and just lie down and have a pamper. Because in the evening, that is what everybody did. There'd have been like 10 people sat on the chair. They're all getting a head massage or a foot massage or a neck and shoulder. And there were loads and loads of people just doing it. So it is just a normal, common thing over on this island. And it did look quite nice, to be honest. But again, we are walking down towards the hotel, so we haven't got too long left. So what, we got about 6 minutes left. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Again, lots and lots of different videos within the playlist of the Philippines with regards to what could be where. And there'll be a lot more to come with regards to how-to guides and just exploring photo opportunity places and other little bits and pieces like that, because there is quite a lot to see and do on this island, and there's obviously a lot more to come from other locations and other places within the Philippines as well. So depending on when you are watching this, then the playlist might be quite large or it might still be growing, but you can see we're at that time now where there's lots of groups of people walking from one side of the island to the other, because there's lots of different places starting to close down. There's other businesses just starting to come up and open. The restaurants are just starting to open as well, because don't forget, even though we are in a glorious country with beautiful sunshine, it is in their off season, and compared to the UK, their dark nights actually kick in a lot quicker than what the current UK dark nights are doing. So the time might be a little bit deceiving, because it's probably only about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, but it does look a little bit darker or a little bit later on than that. But like I said, the restaurants soon start to open. The smell of food as you walk around this island as well is something else. That's just one thing that you do need to experience, because again, all the different foods that you can imagine, all the different restaurants and things like that, all side by side, and you again can just eat anything that you want to off the menu. To the left-hand side, you can see what I mean about a lot of construction work going on, because I would love to have known what that building was. I always eyeball different units because I am very, very tempted one day to set up my own business. And it might not be in the UK, so it'd be very, very interesting to see what the future holds for myself with regards to what I have planned and what my expertise lie in. But as it stands right now, it's always interesting to see where the businesses thrive in certain locations and where there seems to be sort of dead spots. But you can see to the right-hand side, there's another spa. Then you've got some food bits and pieces. Then you see that there'll be another spa. There'll be another massage parlor and all that kind of thing. Very, very interesting how fit and active everybody is around this way. The traffic itself was not horrendous at all. You can see you've got the hop on, hop off. That is for the bus stop that I was talking about down at the bottom. Or again, you can just jump on some of those e-trikes. So the hop on, hop off buses obviously just take you around the island, and they will take you to the different destinations from the one side of the island to the other, and they will be very, very cost effective. Now, the wetland park, that is something that will be available in its own completely separate upload, because we do go for a full loop and a tour around that amazing little water bit in the middle, and we see all of the units and everything lit up at night. It does look very, very effective indeed. But we are now just walking in a straight line, and this video will finish right outside the front door of the hotel. So within, it's probably 10 minutes from one side to the other, which is not bad going at all. And again, you've got the road to the right-hand side, you've got water to the left-hand side. If you wanted to walk all the way around the outside of the water, then obviously you can do. If you wanted to walk on the other side of where all the sort of plants and trees and things are, you can if you want to. So you have multiple different ways that you can go. You've got lots of different photo opportunities and all of that kind of thing. I am almost 100% sure I'm trying to reach something out of my bag and trying to be sly about it at the same time as we now carry on walking down. But again, all these little benches and things are in perfect shade, and you just have lots and lots of different photo opportunities. And my hand is in the way because I actually have the camera down my chest, because after holding the camera all day, it is quite nice just to go hands free. But all of these buildings just here are where the much larger shops are. And if you just keep going walking in a straight line for about 4 minutes, you then go to where the much smaller ones are. But again, that is another hop on, hop off bus. That is something that we didn't even feel the need to get on, because it was just so easy to navigate around. But again, highly recommend it if you need to. You can see all the different bits and pieces that people are trying to sell with regards to different services. Just down here, you can see to the right-hand side where all the water activities, if you want to book with them, are. I'm going to keep saying in every single video, do not be put off by the water. This is just from a huge downpour, and it just happens to be it gets stuck down on these drains because it wasn't draining away properly. And it was the only area on the island that was heavily flooded, and it just happened to be right outside the front of the hotel. So I highly recommend, if you do watch the how to get around sort of DIY guide of getting from the airport to the hotel, put your flip-flops on at the first opportunity, and then you will be absolutely fine with navigating around, because you are carrying your suitcase and it is a little bit dark, for example. You don't have to worry about getting your trainers absolutely soaking wet. But again, you've got really nice eateries just here. You can grab yourself some shakes. You can see the people that are well prepared because they've got the big wellies on, so obviously it happens all the time. And again, the hotel will also help you with your luggage, taking you back up to the main road, because that is the main pickup point from the to the airport, shall I say, using the e-trikes. But guys, that is it, and I am done. That is a very quick explore of this gorgeous island, and this is the beautiful hotel that we're staying at. So one more time, if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll see you next one. Ta-da.